we're going to get started, guys. Again, I appreciate you guys for coming on to this live workshop. Feel free to ask questions along the way. We'll try. I do have someone in the background answering questions for you, but we are going to save the majority of the questions for at the end, and I'll be happy to stay on as long as you want to. This is a 3-part training series, so I broke it up into 3 specific parts for a reason. And so let me go ahead and talk about kind of what we're going to be doing. So today is the 19th, 2 o'clock. We're going to be talking about what I call the income machine framework. So really, it's a framework that I have lived by for ever since I've been an entrepreneur and running an online business. And I wanted to talk about these things because they're really important. Okay, they're important to any type of online business, any type of niche or market that you're into. These foundational aspects can relate to anybody. And if you don't do these things right, or if it's not built in your DNA, it doesn't matter what types of strategies or tactics or plans that you put into place. It can really affect your overall ability to be an entrepreneur, a successful entrepreneur. And so that's one of the reasons that I wanted to devote today about the overall framework. Okay, on the 22nd, which is in 2 days, which is going to be Thursday, that's going to be at 8 o'clock Eastern, so it'll be at night for us on the Eastern side. We're going to be talking about email marketing, product creation, and product marketing. Okay, so how to build your email list, how to create products and programs. And then on January 26th, which will be a week from today, next Tuesday, we'll be doing our 3rd part, which is at 2 p.m. And we're going to be talking all about scaling and growth. So, I've learned a few things along the way. Obviously, it took me many years to get to where I am today. And going from a 6 to 7 to 8 figure business, a lot of it has to do with how you grow, reinvest into your business, how you scale that business, the types of processes and systems that you put in place. Okay. So if everyone is good to go, just give me a quick yes that you guys are ready, and we'll get started here. Really quick, we are going to have a replay. Okay, we will have recordings of all the different workshops. So if you miss out, that's okay. But we are going to have a special bonus incentive at the end if you do stay till the end. Okay. All right, getting good to go. Yeppers, let's kick this pig. All right, let's get going here. Actually, just kind of to back up, one thing, if you guys don't know about kind of my style, I don't like to sugarcoat a lot of things. I know there's a lot of marketers out there that like to just give out a whole bunch of content that's, I don't know, it's just a lot of fluff, and it's not really my style. So if you've never been on one of my webinars before, I like to just kind of get right down to it, get right into the meat and potatoes. And everyone's time is valuable. I value everyone's time. So I want to kind of get right down to business. So now, like I was saying before, pay attention, because I'm going to give something away as a bonus at the end to one lucky winner. It's going to be a $300 value, up to $300. So pay attention to the presentation, because there is going to be a question about the content, okay, because I want you guys to pay attention. And we will be giving this to at least one lucky winner, maybe 2. We'll see if you guys are paying attention or not. But all right. Agenda for this workshop specifically, like I just told you before, I want you guys to start getting into the yes mindset. So we're going to be going over some mindset things, and then some also just general overview of becoming an online marketer, more foundational type stuff. Okay. I'm going to be kind of setting the stage, giving you a simple framework for how to get to $100,000 or a 6-figure income with your online business. Also talk about how to instantly make 10 times more in just 2 simple steps. And these 2 simple steps, most marketers are completely missing the boat and not even doing them. They're just skipping them. And this is, I'm raising my hand. I was one of the first to skip these steps when I first started. I was missing this, and I missed out on a lot of potential revenue for my business. And I'm also going to give you guys an opportunity at the end to work with me and give you kind of a fast track opportunity to help get your business off the ground or help to accelerate it if you're kind of stuck in a rut or you're just not happy with where your online business is today. Okay. So let's talk just briefly about the kind of the cold hard truth. And this is something that I learned, especially from being a mentor and having students and talking to other people, that I've realized that being an entrepreneur or being a full-time online marketer is not for everybody. Okay. And I'm not here on this call to say who is and who isn't going to be successful as an entrepreneur or online marketer, but some people just don't have the drive, the dedication, the passion. Okay. And other people, they just don't have the necessary skills. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that you can't go and acquire these skills, right? Some people are passionate, are dedicated. They do have the drive. They just don't have the other side of things, which is being able to implement successfully, learn from your mistakes, be able to adapt, and have some general skills. Now, I'll tell you right now, when I came out of college, I mean, I didn't know the first thing about online marketing. I mean, I went to school for business management and I had a concentration in marketing, but I mean, when I was in college, they didn't teach anything from what I know today. But it's not to say that you can't learn these things. So as long as you can be receptive to criticism, be receptive and always be learning, and you're dedicated and passionate about your niche, whatever niche that is, then you have a very good chance of being successful online. Okay. But that whole pipe dream of the 4-hour work week or anybody can do it. I don't believe in it. I don't believe in that concept. However, the 4-hour work week concept, it definitely does drive me. It drives me to the point where, as my business starts to become more successful, I'm finding that time rather than money is more valuable to me. Obviously when I was first starting, I didn't have a lot of money, which so a lot of what drove me before was money related, right? But as my business started to grow and became more successful, time has become more valuable to me. And so I've found ways to help scale my business and keep the machine going, if you will, with still giving me the ability to have time. But don't get me wrong. I mean, if you ask any entrepreneur who's running a successful online business, to say that they work 4 hours a week it really is a pipe dream. I believe. I mean, I could probably work 4 hours a week, but for one, I love what I do. So to me, it's not even work. And that's part of that's part of where you want to go as an entrepreneur. You want to wake up and be excited about working every day. And again, I don't even consider it work. I consider it just a passion of mine. So I love to work because it's not work, if that makes sense. And so, because if I choose to work, 8, 10, 12, 14 hours a day, it's because, I want to. Now, there may be certain projects or things that we're working on where, I need to work a little bit harder during that time and then maybe take a little bit of a break once things kind of calm down. But to me, when you're doing something that you love, it's enjoyable and the time flies because you're having fun, right? But of course, don't forget this, that there's going to be things that you do every day that you don't want to have to do, right? Or there's going to be certain things that you just cannot outsource, right? There's always going to be that kind of daily grind, if you will. But if you can minimize the grind and put together a process, a system, have good people in place, it can help make things a lot easier for you. And it took me probably up until last year. It's been probably 4 solid years before I was able to get into a real rhythm where we were growing to the point where I wanted the company to grow, but I wasn't having to work harder to do it, right? Because I had the right system in place. So keep all of that in mind when you're building out your online business. Okay. Let me just see real quick if there's any type of Chinese proverb: man who loves their job never works a day in their life. Yeah, totally, Richard. I like it. Okay, so let's keep going. So here's the good news for you. Like I was saying, guys, you don't need to have technical skills. You don't need to have any formal internet marketing training. You don't even need to have connections or an office with lots of employees or have a big startup budget, have capital, right? The reason I say all those things is because I'm living proof of it. I didn't either. I didn't have, I mean, I had a college education, but I mean, I'll tell you right now, there's plenty of people. Look at Mark Zuckerberg. Look at all the most successful entrepreneurs in the world. Most of them are dropouts of either some form of formal education, whether it was in high school or in college. And that's why I think to be an entrepreneur, to have a successful online business, it's almost like you almost need to go the opposite way, right? You need to not learn from, and I have mixed feelings about college and getting formal training. I'm glad I went to college. I mean, I had a good time. I was able to party and meet some of my friends that I built friendships that'll last a lifetime. But I guess depending on what field you go in, it may not be relevant, right? In my case, for running an online business, I feel that it didn't prepare me for what I know today, right? So a lot of what you're going to learn is just being into the day-to-day operations of your business. Okay, so it's important to always continue to learn from others, from mentors, and learn from their mistakes, and don't make those same mistakes. Okay. So that's the good news for everybody on this call, is that you don't need to have that formal training. You don't need to be technical. I've built an 8-figure software business, and I'm not a coder. But I've learned how to project manage software development programs, and I've been able to learn how to hire the right type of people. So, if you are looking to do software, I'm not saying everybody has to. I do a combination of training programs and coaching and software. But I mean, don't feel like, oh well, if I don't have the necessary skills, that they either can't be acquired over time, or you can't find the right people that can complement you and help you to accomplish your overall goals. Okay, now, for me, this was was something that I did not want to do. This is Milton from Office Space. I don't know if you guys have seen this movie, but he's just kind of just mumbles a lot, just sits in his cubicle, and he's got papers and 8 different bosses telling him what to do. I did corporate America for a very, very short amount of time, and I can tell you right now that was not for me. So, what one thing that you may notice if you are an entrepreneur, or you have to be self-motivated, right? You can't wait for someone to come and tell you what to do, right? Or tell you how to do it. You need to go out there and do it yourself. And this was something that, if you just look at this picture, that just kind of makes me cringe, sitting there in a cubicle with lots of papers and people coming by saying, oh, you didn't do this right, or you need to fill out your TPS report. So I actually have a picture of this in my office, and it just makes me realize, hey, it just helps to drive me. It gives me the passion to say, hey, the last thing I want to do is go back and work for someone else and work my ass off and then really not reap the benefits off of it, right? So there's even more good news. The more good news is that you only really need a computer, an internet connection, some basic software and programs like an autoresponder, the ability to create landing pages, and really stick to the basics. You don't need a lot to have a successful business. And I'll tell you right now, I mean, we didn't have anything that was very sophisticated until we started to grow to 7 and 8 figures. We didn't really do anything out of the norm. We used some basic tools and programs, and that's how we were able to grow our business. And you can do that for any successful online business. You don't need to go and buy all these different products and programs. Just stick to the basics and use the programs that are going to really help you to build your email list and sell your products, right? So for those of you who don't know about my story, I'll go into it really quickly. I don't want to spend all day on this, but I think it's important. So the first kind of phase of my professional career, I had the opportunity of working for Enterprise Rent-A-Car. It's a rental car company in the States here. And I was making $30,000 a year, and I got to wear a suit to work every day. And I also got to wash cars while wearing a suit. And it was a lot of fun. It was, believe me, it was not the ideal job, But I did learn one thing that enterprise rent-a-car does better than almost any company in the world, and that's customer service. You learn how to take care of your customers. You learn how to ensure that they had a great experience. And a lot of what I've learned in enterprise, we've started to integrate into our online business. Now, I worked there for about a year, and it wasn't the most glamorous job, but it taught me that I do not want to work for somebody else, and that kind of the corporate environment was not meant for me. The second phase of my career was I worked for two different marketing agencies in Raleigh, North Carolina. So I was more of a account manager role, where this is where I started to learn about online marketing. Like I started with pay per click. I learned about how to manage Google AdWords. I think on day one, I started managing a $60,000 a month budget with Google AdWords with no experience. So, unfortunately, I feel kind of bad for the company that I was managing their budget for. But obviously, I learned along the way. I learned a lot of on the job training, and I got really good at it. So I started learning how to manage other companies' online marketing campaigns, everything from SEO, optimizing your website for the search engines, from doing AdWords, from managing an email list, from managing social media. So I really had a lot of on-the-job training, and I guess the cool thing was I was getting paid for it. So I started to learn, hey, this is kind of where I wanted to go. I knew I wanted to do some sort of marketing. I didn't really know what it was, but once I got to these two different marketing agencies, I really fell in love with learning how to drive traffic and how to sell online. Now, my third phase was search creatively, which I still own this business today. And I actually got fired from my last agency job. Maybe I had one foot out the door already, or maybe the boss kind of knew that I was looking to kind of be my own boss. And I got fired, and it kind of lit a fire under my butt to kind of get things going. And so I started Search Creatively, which was to manage marketing services. It was an offline business, manage clients' marketing programs. And I went out, and this is actually a really good lesson. So I didn't have any prospects. I didn't have any clients. I was starting completely fresh. All I had was the knowledge of how to do things like optimization, paid ads, online marketing, and I knew that there were companies, there were clients out there that needed my services. Okay, now there was two different routes I could have went. The first one was I could have just started cold calling people, right? Just go in the phone book or go on yellowpages.com and just start cold calling people and trying to find the decision maker. And I could do that, but I probably one of the more smarter decisions I made was, instead of going that direction, I started contacting every other marketing and design and development firm that I could find, okay, in the local area. And I started contacting them, and I would set up a meeting, and I would say, hey, this is who I am. I worked for these marketing agencies. I managed these clients in the past. These are my skills. I'd love to be able to work with you. And so I started meeting all these different marketing companies, and this was the best thing ever, because once I started to build a relationship with those marketing companies and development firms that were building websites, these clients, or their clients, I should say, they all, if they built a website for this client, well, hey, guess what? Once the website's done, we need to market it, right? So one thing I was able to do is I would either be their preferred vendor or preferred contractor, if you will, or I would be kind of a white label. I would work under them, and I would be like part of their team. And so being able to, I was almost a hybrid of working on my own and working for a whole bunch of other marketing companies and design companies in the area. And it was it was a way for me to transition with doing what I knew how to do, which was managing client stuff, which was fine. And, to me, looking back on it, clients were more like bosses. So I always had like 20 or 30 bosses that I had to report to. But this is what allowed me to open up more time to learn how to do things like product creation and email marketing and affiliate marketing. And this is what ultimately changed my life. And that's what led to phase 4. So I was still doing what I knew how to do, which was managing client work and marketing campaigns. But I found, I think I was on the Warrior Forum one day, and I saw this product that launched. It was just a simple training program on, I forgot what it was. I think it was just something on how to rank your website to number one. I was like, man, I could do this. Why couldn't I do this? And so I started really, I found this whole other side of online marketing that I never really knew about. And I just started watching how people started making money online through creating products and training programs around their own knowledge and their own experiences. And it's kind of like blew my mind how much people were making from it. I'm like, oh my God, why can't I do this? I've learned a lot over the course of the last few years from working for a marketing agency. Why can't I go and apply that to a training program and sell it? And that's what I started to do. And that's when I formed Digital Kickstart, which is more of my formal company for my digital publishing company. And I started selling products, and a lot of it was very basic stuff, just very basic training programs. And I wasn't really doing that well. And so what I'm going to be talking about here throughout this presentation, I'm going to go to the next slide, is I'm going to be talking about phase 4, 5, and 6, and how I was able to go from 100,000 a year to $1 million to 10 million in my company through these different phases, and what things I did and what elements of my were in my business I implemented in my business to get to this point. Okay, so I'll kind of be talking about those last 3 phases, which really are the most important. But I wanted to just kind of show, kind of my personal story and the evolution here. Okay, let me make sure there's no important questions as I'm going through here. Okay, okay, cool. All right, so my first $1,000 online took me about 2 years to make my first $1,000 online. Okay, I spent over $10,000 on training, software, tools. I'm sure a lot of you people on this call are probably the same way. You've spent lots of money on training, software, and tools, and it's either taking you or it took you a long time to even reach your first $1,000 that you've generated online. Okay, I've tried all different types of methods, spent $10 here, $20 there, made 1,001 mistakes. I mean, if you name a mistake that you've made along your career, I've probably made it as well. Okay, now the biggest hurdle to overcome was getting over this, right? Learning, just being able to not make these mistakes and have the knowledge to not make the mistakes and learn from what other people have done. Okay, and so this is something that's always kind of stuck in my head. And this is Thomas Edison. He's the one that invented the light bulb, right? 950 mistakes before inventing the light bulb. 950, right? Now, if you wanted to learn how to invent the light bulb, right, or make a light bulb, instead of trying to figure it out yourself, wouldn't you just go to Thomas Edison and say, hey, how'd you make this? Or go and look at the light bulb and see how he designed it, right? And so really, ultimately, that can apply to online business. Just go and study and see what other successful people online are doing. And that's when things really started to click for me. That's when I had my aha moment, when I started to not only reverse engineer what other successful people online were doing, but when I started to engage with these people and started to hire mentors and people that I could look up to and people I could follow. I mean, you look at any successful online entrepreneur, Sam Walton, or any successful entrepreneur, period. Sam Walton, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, all these guys have some mentor or multiple mentors to get to where they are today, or wherever they were in their business. Okay. Now, to get to my first $100,000 online, and this is when I started to realize the value of a mentor or coach. And so I started partnering with mentors and coaches. And so if you don't have anything like that right now in your own business, okay, if you're trying to do everything yourself, don't do it. Okay, find people who are like-minded, who are like you, that are more successful than you. Okay, it doesn't have to be you need to go out and find the next Bill Gates to mentor you, okay, because it's going to be kind of hard to do that. But find someone that has a similar experience as you, maybe a little bit more, a few years more experience, that's more successful, and figure out how you can work with them. Okay. Follow someone who's proven and look over their shoulder. Okay. That's how I built my initial list of buyers. That's how I started to get introduced to what I call A-list affiliates or vendors, or people who have influence in my marketplace. Okay. Now I was able to do this in 7 days. Now I'm not saying that this is going to happen for all of you. And so, just a little bit of background on how I was able to generate $100,000. I created a piece of software that I had no idea how to create software, but I went out. How many of you guys have ever heard of the software Pop-Up Domination? If you just make sure you guys are all still with me here. If you guys can just give me a quick yes if you've heard of the plugin. It's a WordPress plugin called Pop-Up Domination. Yes. Okay. Getting a whole bunch of yeses, so that's good. Let me just get a sip of water. Whoops. Let me go back here. So I found these guys. I found out who the developers were of Pop-Up Domination. And because I loved the product so much, I mean, this is going back 4 years now, 4 or 5 years. I loved the product so much that I wanted to find out who developed it, because I had an idea for a product that could be created, but I didn't know how to do it. So I reached out to them. To make a long story short, they ended up building the software for me. I probably paid a little bit too much, and actually I know I did, based on what I know now, but I didn't know anything at the time. So I hired these guys to manage that whole technical project for me, and I had this product that was ready to go, but I didn't know anybody. I didn't have any connections. I didn't have any means of getting it out into a marketplace and getting people to buy it. And that's when I found a mentor or a coach to really help guide me. Now, I reached out to maybe 10 different people who I thought had similar values, someone that I've watched over the years, and someone who I admired, and I was able to hit on one of them. Sometimes that's all you need, is just one person to believe in what you're doing. And I said, hey, I have this product that's ready to go, but I don't have any relationships. I don't know any affiliates. I don't know any other vendors. I don't know how to get this product out there for people to buy. And so he basically took it and ran with it, and I was on for the ride. And I got introduced to all these affiliates. He, showed me how to lay out the sales page. He showed me how to create the offer and how to set it up in a payment system, and how to, get affiliates on board to promote it. And he promoted it himself through his own email list. And I was able to generate 4,000 or 5,000 new buyers from this product launch that we did. And we generated over $100,000 in revenue. And that, to be honest with you, I wasn't even worried about the money. I mean, obviously I wanted to make some money. I wanted to at least recoup my investment back, but that did come over time. The $100,000, we had to give away some commissions to the affiliate. And then I partnered with this mentor or coach who ended up showing me a lot. I mean, just stuff that you can't buy, right? I mean, just being able to get the recognition, the name recognition alongside another established person, and getting those relationships with other influential people, it was worth it. Even if I broke even and didn't make a dime, it would have been worth it, right? Now, this is a really good rule that I think everyone should understand, especially being an entrepreneur. Okay, and this is really important. So if you guys know who Colin Powell is, he was the former Secretary of State. He has this 40-70 rule. Okay. Now, what this means is from 0 to 100, 0 meaning you don't know anything about a particular subject, topic. Okay. 100% meaning you know everything. Now, the point is, you're never going to be at 100%. Okay. But one thing you need to realize, and this is what makes a great leader, is to trust your intuition. Okay. Now, there is a sweet spot that Colin talks about, that between understanding 40% and 70% of a particular topic, whatever it is, that's the sweet spot. And that's when you should go and take action, right? Now, a lot of people, and there's probably people on this call that wait from they're between the 70% and 100%. These are what I call the fence sitters, right? They're always just like, oh, well, I can't take action yet because I don't feel like it's 100% right, or I don't know enough, or I don't, once you have that intuition where you feel like about 40 to 70%, that is when you should start to take action. Now, if you do the opposite and you're in between the 0 to 40%, that's very aggressive, right? Because you don't know, you don't have enough knowledge in that particular topic to make an educated decision on what you should do and not do, right? You may go too premature into something and it could cost you time and money and resources. And same thing with on the complete opposite spectrum, right? You could be spending all this time and money resources and you don't actually execute on whatever it is that you want. And so this is a really important rule that I've learned along the way, and this has really helped me help to excel my business, right? And this is to me what helps to make a great leader, because you need to make decisions every single day as an entrepreneur. And if you know too much where you're just waiting for the next thing to learn, you never end up doing anything, right? But if you know enough about something, it helps you to maybe find the right person to put in a particular role in your company, or move forward with a product that you're going to create. Okay, if you know that there is a market for it, a need for it, right? So you can apply this rule to a lot of different things that you do in business. And ultimately, it comes down to your intuition as well, as to whether you know when you're in between that 40 and 70%. Okay. Now, when I got to my first $1 million online, I started to see a whole bunch of other set of hurdles. Okay. This is when I really started to learn how to scale out what I call the machine, right? I knew I was good at creating products, and there's only so many ways that you can grow a business. You can either create new products, right? You can drive more traffic to your existing products, right? And so we've done a little bit of both, and this is where I've started to learn more how to manage as opposed to doing, right? And for a long time, I was kind of the one-man band, right, where I would be doing all the different roles in my company. But there's going to come a point in time when you just can't do everything yourself. And I recommend that you try to get away from the one-man band format as fast as you can, even if it's starting slow and you are outsourcing to maybe a virtual assistant part-time. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to go from being one man to a company of 10. Okay. It can grow over years. And that's how I started. I hired a virtual assistant, or I'd contract out copywriting or contract out design and that kind of stuff, little things here and there to help get to my overall goals. And then as I started to scale out the machine, scale out my business, I was able to start hiring people for specific roles. Okay. And I learned a lot along the way, right? I learned, who are the type of people to hire and how to set up processes and how to make people accountable and all that kind of stuff. Those are kind of hurdles that come along as you start to grow your business. Okay. Now, another really important lesson that I've learned is understanding money. Okay. Being an online entrepreneur, being an online business owner, you need to understand the basic fundamentals of money. And this is it's a sad stat to think about, but 70% of people who receive large sums of money go broke. Okay. They go broke because they don't understand money. They don't know how to manage it. So that's why you hear about people that win the lottery and they're broke in a few years. Okay. I mean, here's an example on the screen there. Vin Baker, who was an all-star NBA player, lost over $100 million, $100 million from his salary and he just, I think he graduated. I don't even think he went to college. I think he went right from high school to the NBA. So there's an 18, 19-year-old player making millions of dollars every single year. There's endorsements, there's contracts, there's bonuses, there's commercials, you name it. He's making money all over the place. And now he's working at Starbucks. Okay. If you don't know how to understand money, okay, it's going to backfire on you. So it's important to understand the basic concepts of money and reinvesting into yourself. You ask anyone who has accumulated a lot of wealth over time, the number one thing they're going to say is invest in yourself. Okay. As opposed to, now I'm not saying don't go and invest into stocks and bonds and other things, but where you're going to get the most return on your investment is understanding and and reinvesting into yourself. Okay, investing into more knowledge, into mentors, into better staff, right, into building relationships. Okay, and that's really when things started to really click in my business personally, and when we were able to add another zero onto our revenue. Now, I say that it was 100 times easier, and what I mean by that is, at this point, I already have the system in place. Okay, I already have the system of generating leads, of creating products, of marketing products. I've already had, I built a list of buyers, and so I had all these assets in my business, which, when you're starting out, you don't have this, but you build it over time, right? So it was easier from the aspects of I was able to have the right people and the right systems in place to help fulfill what we needed to get done to be a successful company. Okay, we have designers, we have developers, we have support staff, we have marketers, and you start to see what I call the snowball effect of you start to build your list of buyers. If you do a new product or promotion or launch, you start to get new followers, you start to build a new list, and all these people are, and that's where your money is. The money is in the list, and I'm sure you've heard that 1,000 times. Okay, now again, it didn't happen overnight, but it did happen very quickly in terms of after we hit $1 million in revenue, within 1 year, we were able to scale it to $10 million. Okay, so so as you can see, we've been able to scale fast, and that's because we've had the right types of systems in place. We've reinvested into the right places in our business. Okay, and that's how we were able to scale so fast. Okay, now I'm not saying that we're going to be able to go from 10 million to 100 million in another year, but as you can see, I mean, going from 1 to 10, it didn't take as long as what it took me 2 years to generate $1,000 online, right? So, and that's always the hardest part, and that's where most people fail, right? Because they don't have that passion or desire, right? Now, this is just a basic lead generation funnel, right? This is kind of internet marketing 101. You have a source of traffic, whether it's Facebook ads or LinkedIn ads or YouTube ads or a link on a blog or a link in an email, whatever it may be. You're driving them to a squeeze page. You're giving something of value to them. And in return, you're getting them onto your list. And that is your virtual ATM. Okay. Every successful online business has an email list, and they monetize that list. Now, there's different ways to monetize the list. Okay, I'm not going to go through all of that here. We'll talk about a lot of that during the next session on Thursday. Okay, but this is the fundamental way to build an online business in any market. Okay, in any niche, you need to build a list of raving fans and a list of potential and existing buyers, right? And so you need to figure out that traffic source. You need to have your lead generation mechanism, whatever it may be. Okay, it could be a free PDF, it could be an audio course, it could be a webinar, it could be a free trial. There's dozens and dozens of different ways to generate a lead. Okay, but if you're not doing anything like this right now, as simple as just generating a lead, getting them onto your list, then that's a major concern and major thing that you need to look at in your online business. Okay. Now, if you just look at the subscribers by the numbers, okay, if you ask any, it's been thrown out there many times. If you just, there's been lots of studies. How much is a subscriber worth? Okay. And I mean, on average, a subscriber is worth $1 per subscriber per month, right? So if you have 100 subscribers, that's $100 a month. Okay. If you have 1,000, that's $1,000 a month. Okay. Now, in the back of your mind, think of how many subscribers you would need. And if you're averaging $1 per subscriber per month, how many subscribers would you need to quit your day job, right? Is it 2,000? Is it 5,000? Is it 10,000? Right? So think about that, right? So you can see the potential here. And as your list starts to grow, and if you're managing that list the right way and you're building it the right way, then there's no reason why you can't make at least $1 per subscriber per month, if not more. Okay. Now, increasing the subscriber lifetime value. Okay, this is another thing. So it's great to have, one subscriber, right? But but there's lots of different ways that you can monetize that list. Okay, that one subscriber, right? You could send them affiliate offers, right? So if they maybe they came in through a Facebook marketing PDF that you sent them, and so they opted into that. So that those subscribers are interested in Facebook marketing. So if you send them good content on Facebook marketing, and you can mix in some affiliate offers in there and promote other people's products as an affiliate and earn commissions, that's a way to earn money through your virtual ATM, right? So the larger your list of relevant subscribers are, and if you're promoting good quality offers, so you don't even need to have your own product. Okay, when I first started, I built a very small list, and I was doing a little bit of money. That's how I was able to generate my first $1,000 of income online, was just doing affiliate stuff. I didn't even have my own products. But so you don't even need to have your own products to be successful online. Okay. Now, I will say, if you want to be super successful online, if you want to scale and grow your online business, then there's going to come a point in time when you need to create your own products and programs. Okay. But you don't have to get started. Okay. And this is probably the simplest way to get started, is to create an email list and promote other people's products, because you don't have to worry about creating the product. You don't have to worry about supports, any of that stuff. After the sale, you wipe your hands clean and you earn commissions, right? Now, as you start to evolve, and this is how I started doing things, you start to create products, right? So maybe you start to mix in a few different internal products that you've created to your list and say, hey, I created this training program, or I created this piece of software, or I created this coaching program, or whatever it may be, and go and buy my product, right? But then you also may mix in over time some affiliate offers. So it's a mixture of both. But instead of collecting 50% commission as an affiliate, you're earning 100% commission as the vendor, right? So you're earning more by doing it that way, okay? Now, as time goes on, you'll start to leverage your list more for just your own internal products. Whereas you start to build out a suite of products, or you start to build out some low, medium, and high ticket offerings, you're able to start to build out profitable full sales funnels, where you're starting to turn $1 into $2, or $2 into $4, and so on and so forth. Okay. And so this is over time. It doesn't happen overnight, but this is how you should be looking at it as an online business owner, is how, what types of resources, time, money is it going to take to create. Generally, when you create your own products and services, it's going to cost money and time, right? And so that's why a lot of people that start online start as an affiliate. They promote other people's products, they generate revenue from it, and then they reinvest it into their own products and services. Okay. Now, let's just take one of your products. Okay, you created a product. Okay, this is at the best time to say, hey, if you just purchase this product, why don't you buy this one-time offer or this upsell, right? There's a guy that we talk to a lot. It's actually one of my partners. He has a supplement company. Okay, just a quick guess. What do you think, as an owner of a supplement company, sells supplements, right? After they've purchased a bottle of supplements, what do you think his upsell is? If you guys wouldn't mind, I'm just going to take a sip of water here and readjust my mic. And so what do you think? If he's selling supplements, what do you think that type of buyer would want to buy after they purchase a bottle of supplements? I'm just going to look at some of the questions here. Same exact product. He sells 6 other bottles. 5, yeah, that's exactly right. Okay. So and that's all he does. He says, okay, hey, you just bought a bottle of whatever supplement. Here, why don't you buy a 6 month supply, right? And his funnel converts at 40%. That offer converts at 40%, right? So if you're not offering that 6 bottle package or 3 bottle, whatever it is, right? Then that's money left out on the table. Same thing with digital products, right? You have a piece of software they just purchased. Well, why not sell them a training program that shows them how to maximize that piece of software that they just bought, right? Or vice versa. You give them a training program on how to do something, and then you sell them a software that can automate or save time, money, whatever it may be. You sell them that. And so if you can, and this is really when you start to create substantial wealth and substantial revenue for your online business. Okay, when you can get someone to purchase a product for $27, okay, and then turn that $27 product into $100, $300, $500, whatever it may be, right? And so, and usually that this doesn't happen overnight. Usually, this is something that happens over the course of months or years. And if you can continue to build on your sales funnel, okay, offering one-time offers or one-time payments, and maybe even some sort of continuity program. Right. And that's what a lot of coaches do this. They'll offer, hey, here's a $17 program that you can buy one time, right? And you give them a little piece of the puzzle. But then after they purchase that, say, hey, come join our mastermind. It's $97 a month, or whatever it is, $47 a month, doesn't really matter. But getting them into a continuity program and taking care of those customers. And the ultimate goal is to get them into your continuity program. So use what's called a tripwire offer to get them into your content or your continuity program, right? And so this is, again, where you can start to build substantial revenue and start to turn $1 into two, two into four, four into eight. Okay. Okay. Now, if you look at some of the product launches that we've done by the numbers, okay, the front end products, okay, there's the product offer. Now, this is no upsells, and this actually did happen, and this actually happened with the mentor who, when we generated $100,000, we had a front end product, and there was zero upsells. Okay, and for whatever reason, I mean, he was more experienced than me at the time, but obviously we missed the boat on something. But we only had a front end offer. We didn't have any upsells. Right now, if the average earning per visitor, or it's called an EPC, earnings per click, okay, earnings per visitor that you bring to a site, is $1. Okay, I consider $1 to be average. Right, anything under $1 is below average, meaning it's not converting very well. Okay, anything above $2 to $4 is very, very good. $5 and higher is excellent. Okay, so if you can generate $1 in revenue for each visitor that comes to your site, that's good. Okay, that's average, I feel. Okay, it may be different for every industry, but at least in the internet marketing niche, it's about $1. Okay, so if you get 100 visitors, that's $100, right? 1,000 visitors, 1,000, and so on and so on. So again, you can see the potential here. Similar to how you can make money with your email list, same rules apply with your sales pages. Okay, driving traffic to a sales page. If you can get X number of dollars per visitor, then you can kind of estimate how much money you're going to make, right? Now, if you have a front-end product with one upsell, okay, just one additional product. So just like we talked about the supplement idea, right? Someone bought one bottle of supplement. Why not try to sell them 6 bottles or a bundle of 3 or whatever it may be, or some auto refill continuity plan, right? So one upsell, average earning per visitor is $1. Okay, so we stick with that. Okay, and the average earning per visitor on an upsell is 10%. Now this is relatively low. If someone's going to buy something from you, we like to see anywhere between 20 and 40% will end up buying the next offer, the upsell. Okay, but relatively low, 10%. Okay, so you get 100 visitors. Okay. There's your $100 from the main product plus $10, so it's $110, right? And if you look down to 100,000 visitors, and you generated $100,000 in revenue, that's $10,000 from just offering an additional upsell, right? Now, if we continue to expand on that, right, a front end product with 2 upsells, okay, upsell the same $1 EPC, upsell number 1 is 10%, upsell number 2 is 10%, right? As you can see, guys. As your sales funnel grows, okay, and you're offering other complementary products, so does your revenue. Okay, and again, this is relatively low, math in terms of the conversion percentage. It could be. I mean, we've had upsells convert at 50% before, right? We've had our front end show EPCs of $10 before. Okay, so I mean, this is just conservative. Okay. Now, what you're generally going to see is that your main offer, if you have a proper funnel, okay, back-end funnel, meaning your upsells, your one-time offers, your downsells, that kind of stuff, generally your main offer is only going to make about 50% of your revenue, okay? It's only going to be about 50%, whereas the other 50% is coming from your back end, okay? Sorry, I had to get some water. So as you can see, guys, if you don't have a back end funnel, you could be missing out on that 50%, right? So if we had a launch, if we created a product and we generated $100,000 from that front end offer, there's another $100,000 that you're missing out on. Okay, so now we can continue to expand on this sales funnel, right? We have an email list. They go to product one. They go through our sales funnel, upsell 1, 2, 3. Then after that, we send people to some sort of a mid to high ticket webinar offer. So after maybe a week has gone by, these are what's called a hot buyer, right? These are people who just purchased from you. They're probably using your training program or your software, and these are people who are more likely to buy from you. So if you can put a webinar at the back end of the back end of your sales funnel, where you do a live webinar. And the reason that you do a webinar is because people are more likely to buy higher ticket products, right? A product that costs $27, it's a different buying experience than a product that's that's $1,000, right? Or $2,000 or $5,000. So if you can, and so the webinar itself have great content on it that's relevant for your customers or your buyers or prospects, and then offer them something either as the vendor or as the affiliate. So believe me, you can find in almost any niche, you'll be able to find a $500, $1,000, $2,000 offer that can fit in well into the sales funnel that people are going to buy. Now, it's obviously going to be a smaller percentage of people that are going to purchase this, but if it's $1,000, you only need a small percentage of those people to purchase, right? And so again, you're just extending the sales funnel and earning more money and more revenue, okay? And so if you don't have a product or program that caters to a $500 or more price point, go out and find someone that does and earn a commission off of it as an affiliate, right? Now, if you look at it by the numbers this way, so about 30% of your product is your revenue is the main offer. And then once you start getting into the back end and the webinar, that could equal up to about 70% of your revenue, okay? So don't always judge a book by its cover in terms of, oh, well, we only generated so much money from our main offer. If you maximize the back end of your sales funnel, it can generate sometimes 2 to 3 times more than your main offer, okay? And this is the formula that can, if you're doing it properly, can help to generate 5 to 10 times more than your bottom line, okay? And this is what's helped us add 2 zeros onto our revenue that we've generated from our company, right? And obviously this is just part of it, but this is a big part of the overall plan of creating deep sales funnels that are relevant to your buyers, right? Now, how do you increase the lifetime value of your subscribers, right? Here, you can add another piece to the puzzle, right? You have an email list, you have affiliate traffic, you have Facebook ads, there's all these different sources of traffic coming in, right? Well, ideally it'd be nice to get them onto your email list, right? Because if you can get them onto your email list, then you have the ability to build that relationship through email, and you can remarket to them. As opposed to, if 100 people are coming to your site and only 10% are buying, where's that other 90% going? They're leaving your site and they may never see you again. So if you could have some sort of, that's why we like to add what's called an exit pop to our sales pages. So, hey, if you're not going to buy this product, that's okay. Before you leave, opt in for this free piece of content, right? And get them onto your email list and then put them through an automated sequence. You never know. Maybe they'll end up buying that product or buying another product that you have in your company, okay? Excuse me. Here's another way to extend the lifetime value of a customer, right? Offering pre-launch videos that we call it, where you're basically soft selling or pre-selling your customers to end up buying your products, right? So, and this is more of the traditional product launch sequence that you may have heard of. Guys like Jeff Walker and some of these other guys have been doing it for years, and this is something that we do. And especially for products that may cost a few $100s, where there's going to be some level of education that's involved before they're willing to purchase for a few $100s, we like to give out some free content that complements the product that we ultimately want them to buy, right? So we may do some pre-recorded pre-launch videos. We may do a live webinar event and then send them into our sales funnel, get them to try to buy our product, have that exit pop. And so we're building the list. We're educating the customer. We're pre-selling the customer to get them to purchase our products. Okay. Now, if you look at this example here, this is just a screenshot from our Infusionsoft account for one of our product launches, which is called Press Play. And you'll notice that top line, full access, one time, 247. We made about $250,000 in sales from that, right? Now you look at all the other line items. We added 22 additional templates, plus our graphic Kickstart lifetime membership. We have a heat map tracker software. We have a program called White Label Millionaire. So you can see these are all in the back end. Now, if you go and you add all these up, right? 72,000, 14,000, 9, 30,000, another 30,000, 4,000, 13,000, 2, 3. If you add all that up, that's a lot of money. That almost, I mean, at least for this particular launch, it almost equaled how much we made from the front end offer. Okay. Here's another one. This was back in 2013, but I mean, same kind of thing still applies today. This was Webinar Express, which ended up turning into Webinar Ignition. We generated, if you look at the professional version at the top, $148,000 in revenue. And then you look at some of the back end offers, right? We had a developer rights upgrade, and then we had a masterclass, a training program. So 32,000, 29,000, 8,000, 2,000. So you can see, again, we made a substantial amount of money. And this was back years ago. I could probably show you some updated screenshots from some of our latest stuff. And you'll notice that our back end generally outperforms our front end now. Okay, here's another one. This is from my partner, Matt. He had Rank Recon, $80,000. And then the back end, he had 57, 47, 44, 40. I mean, so you can see, I mean, this works. And right, here's a screenshot from my Stripe account, right? This is, I mean, so we've done about $2.4 million in sales from this one Stripe account. And this is, I mean, this is something that happens over time, guys. I mean, I'm not expecting you guys to do this all the time or be able to do this from day one, but as you can see, I mean, it's just consistent revenue coming in from, now we have built out lots of different software and apps and programs, and we've been able to extend out our sales funnels so that we're able to maximize each customer that comes in. And again, this is your virtual ATM where you can leverage all different types of traffic sources to get people to buy your products. Okay, here's another one: social Kickstart, 217,000 we did on the front end, and then we did, some monthly. These were just some monthly continuity programs as well that we did. Okay. Here's another one: heat map tracker, did over 102,000 on this. And now all these guys were 7-day launches. These were just leveraging the product launch formula. Which I'll talk about at a later time and more in depth at a later session. Okay, I mean these are transfers from Stripe into the bank account. I mean, as you can see, I mean these are anywhere between $1,000 and $4,000 or $5,000 every single day from just this one account. Okay, and so this is. I'm not showing you guys this to brag or anything like that. Far from it. Really just to show you what is possible with just leveraging the basics of online marketing and the stuff that I'm talking about today, and not only today, but also in the other 2 workshops that we're going to have on Thursday and next Tuesday. Okay. And then, here's another one. We did a 7-day promotion as an affiliate. We leveraged our email list of buyers, promoted another product, and generated over $14,000 in commissions. Right now, here's some other really cool kind of perks. At least in the internet marketing niche, we have a lot of product launches do leaderboard contests. So whoever sells the most units as an affiliate, you can earn bonuses, right? So you get name recognition. People start to see you on these leaderboards, and you can start earning additional bonuses. So on top of commissions that you're generating, here's an extra $1,500 in cash from again having an email list and monetizing that list, right? Here's some more. Here's another one. $5,000 from winning first prize or number one affiliate for this one launch, right? Here's another one, like with some of the biggest guys in space, like Jeff Johnson, Ed Dale, Mike Phil. This was for Mike Filsame's launch. Guys like Ryan Dice, Onyx Singal. I was number 2 on this launch board. So I mean, the being able to create your own products has other benefits outside of just creating revenue from that one product launch. Okay, because you're building a list of buyers, which in turn can help to get additional bonus money for leaderboard stuff, help to get name recognition, help to meet some of the bigger people in your space that can have influence on you and your career. Right? You can have branding. I guess if you sell enough product on JV Zoo, they'll make a poster of you. So I thought that was something kind of cool. They and so this poster, if you go to a JV Zoo event, you'll notice people are always say, "Oh yeah, I saw your poster there." And so again, guys, it's not something to brag, but it helps to get a lot of recognition, and people start to position you as an authority, right? Here's another one from Russell Brunson's ClickFunnels contest. I took a quick little picture of this free Jaguar I won a few months ago that Russell was giving away. I was able to sell enough as an affiliate to qualify for a free car. So Russell gave me a free car, which I got to choose, which was kind of cool. So, I mean, as you can see, guys, there's a ton of fringe benefits that could happen. And again, doesn't happen overnight, guys, right? It's the people who are dedicated, passionate, and committed are the ones who are going to win, right? And I mean, it took me years to kind of get to this point, but again, it's following the fundamentals and the principles that I'm talking about here, right? And again, everything is in the list. Okay, having a list now, start small, right? Build that first list of 100 subscribers, then build it to 1,000, then to 10,000, then to 100,000, right? Don't be discouraged if you've never built a list before, or even if your list isn't that responsive. There's ways that you can build that relationship and rapport to get them to like you more, to buy more stuff from you, right? So if you guys want to let me know, I mean, this is private. What would be life-changing income for you? Would it be an extra $1,000, $10,000, $100,000, $1 million? If you guys, go ahead and just throw it in the chat box. I mean, what would change your life? What would, if you're working for a day job, what would that number be to quit your day job and have more, financial freedom, time to do other things, right? 10,000 a month, 100,000 for starts. There you go. 50,000, 100 million. Oh my God, you should play the Powerball. Yeah. So the point is, guys, it's different for everybody, right? Depending on where you are in your career, right? Some people, on this call right now, you may be doing your, whatever it is that you do for 5-10 years, and you have experience, right? Or you maybe just be starting out, right? And it doesn't happen overnight to get to that point where you're just generating life-changing income. For me, it took me probably 3 to 4 years before I started to see life-changing income, okay, where I was able to have a staff and I was able to reinvest into myself and my business so I could, in a way, I was trading time for money, kind of like I had at my corporate job where I would clock in 9 to 5 and trade time for money. In a way, I kind of felt like that when I first started, because I was working so hard to try to generate income. Okay, but I'm here to tell you that there are shortcuts that you can take to help get you to where you want to be much faster, and you can start to build a team around you where you're not the one having to be the daily grinder every day, right? And so, I do have that ability to put you guys on the fast track, but I want to make sure that you guys are ready. Okay, so if you guys give me just a big yes, if so far you've liked everything from this presentation, everything is making sense. You guys are on the same page with me. Everything is making sense. Okay, getting lots of yeses. Good. Yes, very much please. Okay, good. Lots of yeses. Holy cow. Okay, good. Just want to make sure. Yes, Justin. Yeah, you're the boss, right? I'm CEO, bitch, right? That type of thing. If you've ever seen The Social Network, right? Mark Zuckerberg's card. Anyways, so here is what I'm going to be doing. Okay, I'm looking for 300 people. Okay, driven, passionate students that want to take their online business to the next level. Okay, only going to be doing 300 people. Okay, I want this to be a small, intimate group of people who are like-minded. Who, all you people on here that are saying yes, yes, yes. Okay, I want people like you who are dedicated and motivated. Okay, now we did this course. I call it the Seller Kickstart Product Creation Workshop. Okay, we sold out in 48 hours. Okay, we did this back in 2014. We did it at the end of 2014, so a little over a year ago now. But we had a tremendous success rate for the students that came in. Now, like I said, guys, this is only for 300 people. We sold out in 48 hours. So I am keeping this limited. I don't want to have thousands of people because I'm not able to really help that many people. Now, this is a group coaching plan. Okay, this isn't just a one-on-one type of course. Okay, but you are going to get some personal access to me, as well as if there's only 300 people that are going to be coming on, that means we're going to have live sessions where I can get all of your questions answered. Okay, so I'm going to help you change the way that you think. Okay, whether if you're brand new, sometimes if you're brand new, you've never created an online business before, that's a good thing because I can help you learn the right way to do things. Okay. Others of you, maybe you've been around for a while, you've been doing this and you just haven't been successful. Maybe you've been learning the wrong way. I want to teach you guys the right way and help put the missing pieces to the puzzle. Okay. Maybe you understand certain elements or certain things in your business, but you just need that help to help put those pieces to the puzzle together. Okay, and so I've created so many different products. Everything from here's Scarcity Builder, which is a WordPress plugin. Here's Nutshell Metrics, which is a software as a service web app for offline marketers. Social Kickstart, which is another software as a service Facebook marketing app. Heat Map Tracker, DIY links, press play, graphic. We've created all different types of software, of training programs, and we've done it through all these different avenues. We've done it through building our email list. We've done it through our product database of buyers. And we've been able to get people to our offers through things like webinars and affiliate promotions and limited time offers and back-end offers with vendors and product launches and automated funnels. And you'll learn about all of that stuff in depth in Seller Kickstart. Okay. And this, I mean, just to kind of show you guys, from 2012 when I was making, $150,000 up until last year where we've done over 10 million plus, I've been able to learn a lot over the years. And that's what I talk about when I brought up the Thomas Edison, analogy of, it took him hundreds upon hundreds of experiments to figure out how to create the light bulb. Okay. If you have a mentor and someone that can help you learn the right way to do it, it can help to put you on the fast track. Okay. Now, what was really kind of cool for me, and this is the reason that I created the Seller Kickstarts workshop. Okay. It's a 6-week workshop. I was getting emails from big name guys like Todd Brown, who I consider to be the best funnel experts I've ever met, right? I was getting on what I call the marketing radar. It was marketing radar overload. I started creating products and I started marketing myself and my brand and my products. And people were like, man, what's he doing? Here's an email. Hey, Mark, dude, how the heck are you cranking out such amazing products? Seems like every few weeks you're coming out with another amazing piece of software. What's the secret, right? And here's another one from Sam Becker, another great product creator. He's learned a lot from some of the things that I've taught him. Mark, well done. Again, love the new Facebook application you just released. It must have taken forever to develop. Anyways, just wanted to see if there's a few tips on how you can scale your business, launch so many high quality products. Any advice here and there that'll help you out, right? So I started getting all these people asking me, and I'm like, man, I've never actually taken a step back and actually put into a concrete program, a workshop where I can show people how I do it. Okay. And so I've done this out of my home office. And virtually no startup costs. Okay. I started from very little means. I didn't have a massive budget. I didn't have, I made a few bucks here and there, and I just continue to reinvest into myself and scale it out, right? And I love working from home. I have a home office, and we're getting ready to kind of, I've moved into a larger home where I have a bigger home office. I'm able to do some really cool stuff now, and I'm able to travel to different places and all that kind of stuff. And you guys can do that too, okay? Now, I'm not going to say that I can't promise you that you're going to make millions of dollars, okay? But if you implement the fundamentals, okay, and you take this program and apply it, I promise you that you will make money, or you will get your money back, okay? Now, this is called the Seller Kickstart Workshop. It's going to start on February 2nd, so it's going to start in a few weeks, and it's going to go till March 17th. It's actually 7 weeks. I had to take a week off. If any of you guys are going to Traffic and Conversion Summit in February, let me know. It's in San Diego. I'd love to meet you guys in person. And so I had to take a week off during that time. But it's going to be from February 2nd to March 17th. And so don't make my mistakes, right? Learn the real system and process. Learn what I went through, how I've tested and failed, and I've wasted God knows how much money on everything from paid traffic I've wasted money on how to create products the right way, how to hire the right type of people. I've done just endless amounts of experiments from all those different things. And so the problem was I never really had a coach to help me. Once I started to hire a mentor and have smart, like-minded people around me, that is when I was able to take my business to the next level. Okay. Now, like I said, guys, this is not for everyone. So there is a bit of a warning, okay? If you're not passionate, okay, if you're not driven, if you're not ready to hit the ground running, if you're not an action taker, okay, if you're not motivated to dramatically improve your business, okay, then this workshop is not going to be right for you, okay? We're going to be talking about basics. We're also going to be talking about advanced strategies that work, okay? I'll help to explain those to you. And the good thing is that there's pre-recorded training modules, okay, that you can go and watch at any time that you want to. Okay, you can watch on your phone when you're walking or jogging or on a plane or whatever. But there's also going to be live Q&A sessions that we're going to have. Okay, so I am 100% committed to you for these 6 weeks. Okay, I've only done this one other time. Okay, and the reason I've only done it one other time is because I'm very busy with just different things going on in my business, and so I want to take the full 6 weeks to be committed to you guys and your success. Okay, make sure that your questions are getting answered and that you have everything you need to be successful. Okay. Now, like I said before, guys, this sold out in 48 hours. Okay, we're only taking 300, then we're going to close it out. Okay, so this is going to sell out really quick. I can tell you right now, there's a lot of people on this call. We had over 3,000 people register for this workshop. So there's going to be a lot of people that are going to want to get in. And for some people, unfortunately, I have to close it at 300. Okay, so for one time, for the first 100 students, we're going to be doing an instant $500 off. Okay, it's a one-time price. Okay, and you can join the 6-week Seller Kickstart workshop. And it's sellerkickstart.com/join, and you can get in. And again, we're gonna be hitting the ground running starting February 2nd. So just in the next few weeks. Okay, it's one payment. There's no ongoing payment. It's not each week you have to pay for the 6 weeks. You get access to the 6 weeks. Okay. It's $997 one time. Okay, again, that's going to be for the first 100 students, and then we're going to be bumping it up to $1497 after the first 100 students. And I can tell you right now, the first 100 are going to go really fast. I mean, just judging by the last time we did it, and it sold out in, we had 300 people in the first 48 hours. Okay. Now, let me break down what is included. I'll go through some of the nitty-gritty details of what's included inside of this workshop. Now, the first thing that you're going to do as soon as you join, okay, go to sellerkickstart.com/join. There should be a link in the chat panel now. So you should be able to click that, and it should take you over to the checkout page. Put in your name. You could do credit card or PayPal, whichever you prefer, whichever is more convenient. After you've purchased, you're going to go to this landing page. Okay. The first step is I want you to add me on Skype. Okay. Like I said, guys, there's only going to be 300 people on this, and I want this to be a close, small, knit group. Okay. I want you to add me on Skype. You're going to have access to me for 6 weeks. Now, I'm going to say right now, obviously, I still am running my business, right? And so, what I only ask from you is that I'm going to add you to Skype. We're going to have that interaction, right? I want you to ask me specific questions that are very narrowed and focused to the training that you're going to get inside of Seller Kickstart. So I don't want you to go in there or just start asking me bombarding me with questions because it's not the way I designed this course. Okay, I want you to go through the 6-week workshop, and you have access to me personally if you have specific questions, whether something wasn't explained properly. If I don't answer you on Skype, I also do this thing called they're little like quickie videos that I'll go in and I'll shoot a video to answer your question and put it inside of the Seller Kickstart workshop so that everyone else has access to it, so everyone else can benefit from it. Okay. Now you're also going to be able to get inside of the private Facebook group. Okay, we have a what I call the 6-figure mastermind group. You'll be able to get into that. You can ask questions there. Okay, there's other like-minded people. We've had countless number of joint venture relationships spawn in this group. I'm in there in that group. If you have a question, you can ask a question to me. Some of my partners like Matt and some of my other people that work for me, they're inside of this group as well. So you're going to get access to that. And so that is a private group that only people in the Seller Kickstart program and people who joined the 6-figure mastermind program back a few years ago will get access to. Okay. You'll also have access to my support team. So we have a support desk. If any of you guys have used it before, we and that's something that we just continuously improve on. We have a staff of, I think, 7 or 8 support people in there. We try to cover the desk 24/7. So if you have any specific questions that our support team can answer, we have our desk available to you as well. So there's lots of different outlets, and there's no reason why you shouldn't be successful in this workshop. Okay, you need to leverage these different outlets. Okay, now let me just kind of talk about the format for the workshop. Again, it's sellerkickstart.com/join. I see some people already joining now, so if you wouldn't mind, just go ahead and put your name and hey, just that that you joined. Go ahead and put that in the chat box so I can congratulate you. Okay. Okay. So again, that link is in the chat box, guys. So you can just click on it, and it'll take you to check out and join the program. Now, there's going to be 12 live workshop sessions. Okay, similar to how we're just this type of environment. We're also working on some really cool live calls where I'll be in front of a whiteboard, or we'll do a flip chart type of thing. So we're going to be doing that type of interaction as well, where you guys can ask questions and I'll answer those in front of a camera, and then we'll also do more presentation style similar to this. Okay. So there's going to be 12 workshops. There's 2 workshops per week, okay, from February 2nd to the 17th, okay? So it's, again, six weeks, 2 workshops for each week, okay? Then there's foundational training. Every single week, okay, for the 6 weeks, there's foundational training that's pre-recorded that I'd like for you to watch, okay? It's not anything crazy. It's not like 6 hours of content that's just going to make your head spin, okay? I tried to make each video as short and actionable as I can, okay? So I want you to watch those, and there's plenty of time now. It's February 2nd, it's the first day, the first workshop. So you have plenty of time to start to digest at least the first or second week. Now we're giving you access to all the content up front, okay? So you can start to go through it at your own pace, but I strongly recommend that you try to follow along with the workshops, the live workshops, okay? Because what we're going to do is we're going to break down the live training. We're going to break down the pre-recorded training, and we're going to be answering your questions if something didn't make sense. And there's also some other training that I'm going to do live that I left out of the pre-recorded training that complements what you're going to be learning. So if you stay with us for each week, you're going to be on the right page, okay? Now, there's also 8 money-getting bonuses that you're going to be getting, some really cool stuff, some templates, some scripts, some things that we use in our business that are just going to help you, kickstart your online business. Again, you're getting access to the private support group. You're getting priority support from me, and you're getting access to my Skype so I can answer any questions you may have, okay? Now, I'm going to be doing what's called on-the-fly training each week. So as questions are coming into the desk, into Skype, into whatever it may be. If there's really good questions being asked, which I remember for the first workshop that we did, there was some great questions being asked. So I like to record that training, or I like to record videos, put those in the workshop for you guys, for everyone to be able to benefit from. Okay, so your questions get answered, and the entire group gets to benefit from it. Okay. Now, here is the specific calendar that we have laid out for the 6 weeks. Okay, um, we decided to do the workshops at 2 o'clock Eastern time, so like New York time. Now, the reason we did it at 2 o'clock. Now, I know that's probably it's not going to be convenient for everybody. I know, at the beginning of this webinar, we had people from all over the world. Um, we did 2 o'clock because, for one, I'm Eastern time, and so 2 o'clock was convenient for me. If you're on the West Coast, it's 11 o'clock in the morning. If you're like London, UK time, that's, I believe, 8 o'clock at night. So I tried to make it as convenient for everybody to at least attend these live workshops. Now, if you can't attend, there's going to be you're going to get the replays, so don't worry about that. You're also going to have your opportunity to ask questions, so don't worry about that. Okay, but week one is the foundation. So I talked today. I don't know. We're going on about an hour and a half of foundational stuff, but I go into more foundational stuff, more mindset of being an entrepreneur and setting up systems, programs. What type of software you should use. I break down all the different apps and software that I use in my business to communicate with my team, to sell our products, and all that kind of stuff. All right. Week two is market research. So if you've been struggling on, hey, what type of product do I create? Who's my target audience? How do I find people to promote to, and all that kind of stuff? We go through all of that in week two. Week three is all about product creation. We talk about everything from podcasts to software to video training courses to PDFs to, all different types of content that you're going to create for your products. We go through all of that. Okay. Week four, we talk about marketing funnels and optimization. So I'm going to show you guys all sorts of really cool tricks that we do for building out our sales funnels. Okay, how to price your products, what type of commissions to give, how to create landing pages, squeeze pages, upsell pages, webinar funnels, all different types of funnels, and how to optimize them as well. Okay. I also have a replay from Todd Brown, again, one of who I consider to be a mentor when it comes to sales funnels. He did like a 3-hour long training. You guys are going to get access to that inside of the course as well. Week five is about product marketing and promotion, how to market your products, how to get affiliate partners on board, how to drive traffic, how to in all different types of traffic generation, how to optimize your offers for search, how to do paid search. And guys, everything is very modular, so you don't need to be doing all of this stuff at once. So you can take bits and pieces as you start to, and you don't need to be doing everything all at one time, right? I want you guys to really digest this and start to implement it as I'm starting to teach it. Okay. Week six is about scaling. So we're going to be teaching you all about outsourcing. Like I said, guys, I run my business 100% virtual. All my guys, I have people from all over the world. And now, it's not to say that you have to do that, right? I know plenty of successful online entrepreneurs who have a local office. And so there's no wrong or right way to do it, but I can definitely give you guys some great advice on how to hire the right type of people, where in the world to hire people. There's definitely certain pockets of the world that are better for development as opposed to support, as opposed to a call center, so we're going to be talking all about ramping up, scaling your business, and how you can grow it. Okay. All right. Let me see. Okay. What day? Yeah. So I've already answered some of those questions. I'll keep going here. Now, just to put this into perspective, okay, and this is kind of goes back to the very beginning when I was talking about average tuition or college and if college is worth it and all that. If you look at the average tuition yearly nowadays, in state it's about a little over $9,000 per year. Okay, for to attend a college or university, right? Out of state, over almost 23,000. Okay, private college over 30,000. Right? When I do private one-on-one coaching, I charge $1,000 an hour. Okay, so and if you look at these things, there's no refunds or exchanges. Right? If college gave back money for people who are not successful, they'd be out of business. Right? They don't make that type of guarantee where, oh, okay, well, you didn't do that well. Or I can tell you right now, if there were refunds, they would be changing the way that they would be conducting college, because they'd make sure that you are successful. There'd be more follow-up with students. But anyways, Um, and same thing with coaching, right? Because my time is valuable, your time is valuable. So if you hire me one on one, it's $1,000 an hour, and there's no refunds on that, right? So just put that into perspective, okay? So this is kind of the boldest guarantee I think I've ever done, is that if you're not completely satisfied in the 6-week workshop, you pay nothing, okay? So you pay one time $997, okay? It's one time payment, okay? Um, it's a 6-week workshop. You can take the entire workshop. You can go through all the training, you can get all the bonuses. You can attend all the live training. You can ask me questions and I'll answer them. And if you're still not completely satisfied, you can get your money back. Okay. So you can take the whole course and you can get every dime that you invested. Okay. So I don't know what's a better investment or better guarantee than that. Okay. Also, the other kind of 100% guarantee that I have is that you'll double your sales, okay, or you don't pay a cent, okay? I want you guys, but you need to implement what I'm showing you guys, okay? So not only am I you can go through the entire course, I want you guys to implement what I'm teaching you, and it will double your sales. I promise you, okay? It's going to, if you do what I teach you, okay, and you build out sales funnels and create products, and you have that passion and desire, there's no reason why this program cannot at least double your sales. Okay. Now we've had lots of, as I told you guys, we had 3,000 students from the first round that we did in 2014. Okay, and we had lots of great testimonials. So I want to share some of those with you. Okay, Jen Gordon, she says Mark Seller Kickstart course has been not only great information, it's been actionable, even for someone like me who doesn't have a background in marketing. The way he teaches makes concepts easy to understand and apply to my business. As an added bonus, he's personally available for questions, so you're never left wondering, how could I apply what he's teaching to my industry? Okay, just ask him. And that's true. Okay, that's part of why I connect with you guys on Skype. Okay. Justin Burns, he said, I've been marketing online for quite some time, and I'll say hands down, I've never been through an online training class as comprehensive as Mark Seller Kickstart. Not only that, but Mark is one of those guys who cares about his clients, that they can get what he's teaching. I've spent thousands on broken promises and out-of-date strategies. Mark opens up his business to show what he's doing, something I know most don't do. There's no doubt of the value, but also the extra 6 or 7 figures that will add to my business by applying just 1/10 of what he shares. Okay. And that's true, guys. I mean, I really do go into a lot of behind the scenes of my business. And a lot of what I teach, guys, is stuff that is foundational stuff that it's not going away. It's not going away. What you're learning in this workshop, it's been working. It's been working for years, right? I mean, since people have been creating online businesses, and it's going to work for years to come. Now, obviously things evolve. There's going to be new tactics and strategies and ways to drive traffic. But the foundation stuff that I'm teaching you guys, this stuff is evergreen. Okay. It's going to last. Okay. Elon says, good to meet everyone. I'm enjoying the live webinar with Mark right now. He's answering all my questions. I'm very happy about my product creation future. I intend to launch my big ticket product next month. Okay. You're an inspiration. Your coaching changed my life. After a long struggle, finished my first product, made it as high quality, super awesome product like yours. Feeling grateful for you, sir. Wish me good luck. Okay. John says, don't want to bother you. Just want to know that I've been going through all of your videos and live calls for the week again, and just want to let you know how much I appreciate you and what you're doing for this course for us. I honestly wish I could go back and pay you all the money I've spent with so-called gurus who didn't care about really providing what guys like me need to succeed in this industry. Thanks again, Mark. Look forward to our call at the beginning of the week. Okay. Now, I also want to bring on Keith. He's the creator of Amped Publishing. Now, Keith is one of my students. I've known Keith for a number of years, and it's been fun to watch him grow his online business and really have financial freedom. So what I'll do is I'm going to, I believe Keith is on right now. I'm going to unmute him really quick and just have him share his story if you wouldn't mind. Keith, are you with me?
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep. Yeah. So Keith, if you wouldn't mind, just I know you've been a student for a while now, and I've had the chance to watch you grow and become a full-time online entrepreneur. Just if you wouldn't mind, just kind of talk about your story and how you got to where you are today.
Sure, certainly. Yeah, as Mark says, I've been a student of his now for about 11 months, and I'll get a little deeper into where I am now after that 11 months and kind of going through his training. But I started out probably like many of you, really in the corporate world. I started out as a developer, a website developer, moved into project management, and just kind of climbed the ladder through my 7-year stint at a local company into senior management. And really just started to notice the further I kind of climbed the ladder, the less fulfilling it was. I kind of hit a wall financially. I knew I would never really be able to accomplish the financial freedoms, that I wanted, including, not only money but time, and really just control of my own destiny. Just kind of felt like a robot. I'm sure many of you have had that feeling as well. But I had met Mark. I'm local here, so I had met Mark and heard about him a few years back, and decided just to kind of reach out to him and see what see what he was offering, see what this is all about. I was kind of ready to take action and kind of make that change.
Yeah. Sorry, I just unmuted myself, so I know there was a little bit of an echo.
Oh.
So so Keith, talk about what was kind of your aha moment from when what made you take the plunge from the corporate world to where you are today.
Really, I think it was probably my initial. Let's see. I'll even jump back a little bit before that. Before I really reached out to Mark, and kind of had, and Mark and I have had many conversations before I took the actual leap. Hey, I have a family, I have a house to pay for. I have to make sure everything is in line financially. And as I said, you kind of hit that wall in the corporate world. You can see everybody. The owners are all out on their private beaches and and beach houses, while everybody else is really kind of doing all the work. The type of work I did, I knew I could do, but I needed a little bit of training on how I would do that on my own. So really, the aha moment for me was, I think just the product creation in itself, and just knowing kind of I've managed development teams before. I've been in that environment, but how to do it myself, I've always had a whole group of folks, to kind of help me get through that. And that's really what I was kind of picking Mark's brain, about. And finally, he had said, "Hey, look, I have this training course. Why don't you jump on here with me and kind of learn? You're already in that 40 to 70% range that Mark was talking about earlier. You have that knowledge, so you're not just jumping into a huge ocean. You just need a little guidance, and what Mark could provide. That guidance is really kind of got me to where I am now."
Yeah, and I think your story is unique. I like it because you had the technical abilities, which not a lot of people have. I mean, I never had that. I just had more of the marketing side of things, and I kind of learned as I went along. And so, for me, if any of you are out there that are technical, to me that's a great advantage because that's something that's very hard to acquire that type of knowledge. And so one of the things that I liked about Key Story was the fact that he was technical and he just needed to learn the other side of the business per se, the marketing side, how to build a product, how to take his passion and his knowledge and turn it into a product. And now he's partnering with other successful people in his marketplace, and he's able to complement some other people. And so part of in the Seller Kickstart workshop, we talk about how to leverage your own skills and assets and find people to work with, and that who you can partner with. And so Keith's been a really good example of that, where he's taken his knowledge that he's learned at corporate America and how he's transitioned it over for himself, and how he's been able to find other like-minded entrepreneurs to work with and have a similar goal and create products and programs around what people want in his particular niche. And that's how he's been able to be successful. And I mean, Keith, I don't know if you don't have to, if you don't want to, but I know, you had a really good job in terms of your income level. I mean, I'm sure most people would be thrilled to earn, what you were making at corporate America, but if you wouldn't mind, just briefly talk about, kind of, you don't have to go into numbers, but how you're doing today, and kind of if you have that financial freedom and extra time to be able to do other things.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I don't mind at all. I'm kind of proud of it, that I was able to do it. But yeah, in 11 months, I've exceeded what I was making, in my corporate job. And again, I was at a senior level, so I got, I had a decent salary, a great bonus package, a great, health package, and all the things that come with that. But I've exceeded that in 11 months already, being, in this program and just following this system, because it never gets old, it never expires, and you can repeat it. So I would say right now I am. Oh, probably just a little bit over the six-figure mark in just 11 months from really, having no client base or no affiliate relationships. Mark, I think that was a huge point that you brought up. When getting into, to this, it doesn't have to be just the software niche. It's just this product creation
Right.
area, is those relationships that you build. And I really took the leap to begin with. I think, boy, I was probably I had quit my job and started. All within 3 weeks, I went out to San Diego to one of the events that Mark had mentioned, and to start to meet people. That is what really accelerated it. It's the relationships. It's, building relationships with not only affiliates and other JVs and other partners, but the customers that you acquire, as you kind of go along. So now I've got the freedom. I work from home as well. I have a home office. I can spend more time with my kid, more time with my family. And I did it. And I'd like to address, Mark, one thing that you had said very early, which is the 4-hour work week concept. Yeah, that's not in my DNA. I don't know what I would do for the rest of the time, if I wasn't working. I love what I do, so it doesn't feel like work. It's some Mondays, you know what? I will. Maybe I don't do anything. I don't do anything, but then on Saturday and Sunday, I'm back at it.
Mm.
It's just in my nature. So you have to be driven. You have to take action, and you have to find focus. And a lot of the fundamental training, I think, in the Seller Kickstart package is that helped me a lot, is to learn how to focus and stop the distractions of the endless amounts of money you can spend on info products and software products and everything else. And so much information gets thrown at you at once when you get thrown in, or when you come into this world. Just be prepared for it. And some of those techniques that Mark showed me, it really helped me kind of focus and get where I am. It's
Cool.
not easy, but it's very doable.
Right. All right. Well, cool, Keith. I appreciate you coming on and kind of sharing your story.
Absolutely.
Keith, because Keith is just a local guy that I ended up meeting. It was nice to kind of, I still keep in touch with him, and I love hearing about his story. And so I just wanted him to kind of share that with all of you. If any of you guys are on the fence, or you want to hear from the horse's mouth from someone that has gone through the program and has been a success story. And I mean, um, defining success is different for everybody, right? Sometimes it's a financial goal. Sometimes it's being able to take a trip with your family. It's being able to be your own boss. That you'll have to define what success is for you. I know for Keith, and I've gotten to know him and his family. Him being able to spend time with his family and his kid, and be able to travel and not have to worry about going to the 9 to 5 grind. It can be a bit daunting. And so, guys, like I said, it's a one-time payment. We're only going to do the first 100 people at the $997 price, and then it's going to bump up $500. Sellerkickstart.com/join. I know there's been a lot of questions that are coming in the chat box, and I know one of our staff, they've been trying to answer them, but I see some here that are flagged. So I'll try to answer as many questions as I can. I do also have the bonus as well that I'm going to be talking about. Let's see here. Let's see here. 6 weeks is not a very long time for spending $1,000. Do you get any lifetime support? I mean, so I'll be honest with you, our support team is always there for you. So whenever people have questions about our products or programs, we don't just ignore you, right? But then again, if you put it all into perspective, right? I mean, I generally charge $1,000 an hour, right, for one-on-one coaching. Now, this is a bit of a different environment. We're doing a group coaching, right? So you're going to have access to me for 6 weeks, okay? Which to me is, I mean, I guess it just depends on how you look at it, is well worth the investment, if not 10 times worth the investment, okay? Let me see here. Let's see. Okay. Let me see here. Let's see, webinar content. We'd like to offer services as a proofreader for your screens. I've noticed. Okay. Oh, yeah. Sorry. I'll get to that. Let's see. How much did your first software product cost to have it developed? Well, I created something called List Eruption. If some of you guys have ever heard of List Eruption, that was the first piece of software that I created. Now it's evolved over the years. It's on version 2.0 now, but I think about I spent about $20,000 to have it developed. Now, and one of the things I talk about in the Seller Kickstart program was the mistake that I made. Okay, and one of the mistakes was that I went and invested that amount of money, not really being sure about what I was going to do with that product, or being sure that the people that I hired were actually going to do a good job. Now I did as best as I could, and I mean, long term, I've made a lot of money from that product. But when I first started, that was a significant risk on my part. Okay, and so I teach you guys during the course. I'll teach you guys about how to mitigate risk, and that's, I mean, basically being an online entrepreneur. That's what it's all about, is mitigating risk for reward, right? And so that was a significant amount of money for me, and it was a bit of a risk, but I was very determined to be successful. All right, let's see. Does it include help building up the email list of subscribers? Yeah. So if you're looking to build a list, I mean, everyone should be trying to build a list. I mean, we spend a whole session. We spend 2 or 3 hours on email marketing and how to build your email list, how to maintain your list, how to build relationships with your list. So for sure, we'll be talking about that. All right. Software dev, yeah, we're going to be talking all about software development, guys. If you guys want, I could even bring on. And so one thing I didn't talk about, one thing we did during the first workshop that I did in a little over a year ago was I would ask I would ask you guys, I would gauge the audience or gauge the students and say, hey, okay, let's learn a little bit more about you guys and understand your businesses. Now there were a good amount of people that were doing Amazon. And so I brought in Chris Guthrie, who is an Amazon expert, and he did a 2.5 hour presentation on Amazon, how to be an Amazon affiliate, and that's inside of the workshop as well. So you'll get access to that. But if you guys ever want specific trainer on something, so like a developer, I'm not a developer. I don't want to be a developer, but I can bring in one of our senior developers to come on a call and maybe talk about some of the technical aspects. That would be much more, it'd be better for him to do it than for me. I mean, I teach you guys all sorts of stuff on things you need to look out for when creating, an Adobe Air application versus a SaaS application versus a WordPress plugin, or why would you do a WordPress plugin over a SaaS application, or why would you do an Adobe Air application over a SaaS? So we go through all that kind of stuff, and I mean, software. I love software. I mean, as you guys probably know, if you've purchased any of my software in the past, we do a lot of it. So I mean, I could talk about software a lot, but if you ever want something technical, we could definitely bring on one of our guys. Let's see. High ticket selling, sure. We definitely talk about that. We talk about some of the form. We talk about formatting your webinar presentations. Generally, on a high ticket type of product, if you're going to be selling something over $500, you're going to want to try to sell it on a webinar, just because that's the best format. It usually has the highest conversions. But there's there's tricks that we'll teach you guys on how to get people to take action on not only high ticket but all different types of products. Know how to joint venture relationship. Yeah, one of the bonuses that I give you guys, I actually give you, I call it my Rolodex, and you're going to get access to preferred vendors that we've used in the past. Everything from copywriters, designers, video guys, JV brokers or JV managers, people that can help get introductions for you with people in your space who have influence. Okay. Another really cool thing that I did in the first Seller Kickstart workshop was I ended up giving away a few free pieces of software. So just depending on how I gauge the audience or our students, there may be some things that I'll throw in. So I consider this workshop kind of like an inner circle. So for people that kind of take that leap of faith and invest this one-time payment, I consider you not just a student, but kind of like an inner circle, friend, if you will. Um, let's see. Drive. Yeah, we'll talk about organic traffic. I spent 5 years managing SEO campaigns, so I've learned a few things about SEO and how to build backlinks and how to get sites ranked and all that. So we'll talk about it. Paid traffic. We'll talk about paid traffic. There's got endless amounts of ways to drive paid traffic, so we can talk about that. I'm about to start my TV and radio station. That's cool. I'll be interviewing trailblazers, and because I do have several products for you, would you be up for an interview? Yeah, sure. We can definitely talk about that. If you guys have any questions or follow-ups, you can contact support@sellerkickstart.com. If we could put that in the chat panel, just support@sellerkickstart.com. We can follow up if you have any questions that I'm not able to answer live on this call. I'll try to keep on going through the questions here, though. The best internet model and products to promote to get a 10K a month. Yeah, Scott, one of the things I can show you guys is how to find products that convert really well. Ultimately, the key to promoting other products, if you're going to be promoting as an affiliate, you want to know who the best vendors are, the creators who are creating the best products, right? And that have a history of high conversion. And then also finding evergreen products that are out there in a marketplace that just have over time have converted very, very well, right? And I'll show you guys some unique techniques that you can use to connect with those product creators and how you can create a really great private promotion with that vendor to help maximize each of the promotions that you do. Let me see here. Let's see. Okay. Who is the main influence that helped you? There was a lot, guys. I've had lots of different mentors. There was one that unfortunately he just went in a different path. But he helped me get to where I am today. I don't want to mention his name, but there's been a lot of the mentors, guys. I have mentors who I personally work with, and then there's mentors who I don't even talk to. I just watch them extremely close with a fine-tooth comb and watch what they do and watch how they're presenting their information, watch what type of products they're creating. And so a mentor, guys, doesn't necessarily have to be someone that you're always in communication with constantly. It can be just other people who are influential in the market that you're studying and watching, and that people that you want to aspire to, right? What if you don't have a product or an idea? That's okay, and that's actually a good thing. It may not sound like a good thing, but I'm going to show you guys how to learn about, learn what your passions are. Hopefully you guys are passionate about something that you can monetize, right? That you have some sort of experience with, right? And that's why, guys, I say that the Seller Kickstart workshop it's not for everybody, right? You need to have at least some sort of skill or experience. And now the good thing is that most of you guys have some experience or knowledge that you can package into a product or program, right? The people that are not successful, right, are the people that either just don't know how to take action. They don't really have a passion for any specific thing, and sometimes that's unfortunate, right? I was lucky enough in my career to learn early on that I loved creating products and programs around marketing, and so and hopefully, and I'm sure you guys can come up with a list of 2, 3, 4, 5 different things that you could create a product or program around and make money from it. Okay. Let's see. Question for later. Why do almost all launches close down after a week or two? Yeah, so Steven, that's a great question. Why does the price go up? We'll talk all about it, right? that's exactly what this workshop is all going to be for. So the more that you guys are dedicated to it and the more that you guys are willing to ask questions, the more you're going to get out of it, right? Just like anything else that you do. So we'll talk all about that. We can go in as much detail as you want to, especially for these 12 sessions, guys. I mean, I'll go for as long as my voice will allow me to. So, I mean, we'll go. I mean, some of the workshops go for 3-4 hours. This depends on as long as you guys are asking questions, and I'm we're going to have a lot of fun doing it. And so I'm excited about it. I can't wait for the second. Let's see. Can you talk about headcount and how you added headcount versus doing it yourself? What was your approach on investing in advanced versus hiring after a successful product you need more help? So that's a good question. I mean, we do talk about this inside the workshop, especially when we talk about scaling. Anything that makes you want to pull your hair out, outsource to someone else, right? I remember when I first started, I was trying to create all my logo designs. And so I would spend 4 or 5 hours creating a logo that when I could go out to someone else, be like, hey, take this, and I mean, one little tip is, I'd go to Graphic River and I'd take a logo from there for $20 and I'd give it over to a graphic designer and say, hey, or take this logo, tweak it up, maybe change the font a little bit, change up the icon a little bit. Boom, there's my logo. I'll outsource it to someone for $50 instead of me spending 5 hours of my time or 10 hours or however long it's going to take doing it myself, right? I used to spend a lot of time creating content. Like I had a blog for a while, and I didn't do as much blogging. Well, actually, we're actually going to be ramping up our blog, but I'm not going to be doing the content writing as much as I used to. So, when things start to when you want to pull out your hair or things take you a long time to do them, when you could go and hire someone to do them, it's all about balancing risk versus reward, how much you can make. So you have to think about it this way. Okay. If I went and invested $2,000 a month on a person to do XYZ, could I take that time that it would have taken me to do? Could I go and reinvest my time into something that can make me more, right? Can make me more than $2,000 and help build my business, right? Ultimately, at the end of the day, as being an entrepreneur, you need to be worried about your high level strategy and the direction of your business. If you're not, then you're probably spending too much time during the day-to-day operations, and you need to work your way up to the point where you can bring in other people to help take those hours of the day, give them to someone else so that you could spend the time worrying more about strategic thinking in your business. All right. Answered that question. Any additional cost on tools and software to be used in the training? So, I mean, the good news is, guys, you don't need to invest that much, guys. I mean, you can get shared hosting on HostGator or GoDaddy for $5 a month. I mean, it can be really cheap. Now, like when I started, I had shared hosting. I think I paid, I don't know, $7 a month for it. I had a domain, so the domain was $10. Now, what I teach you guys and what I would recommend is create something that is relatively inexpensive, right? A training program where it's just you using, ScreenFlow or Camtasia, which you can buy for $50 or $100. Create a video training course around something and make that a product, right? All you're investing in is your time, right? And so that's why in the beginning I would create a lot of training, okay? Because it was very easy for me to do. It didn't take a lot for me to invest. I had my shared hosting, I had a domain. I think I found some guy in the Warrior forum that charged $150 for a sales page. I wrote the copy myself. It wasn't very good, but it did the job for when I first started. But again, as I evolved, I started finding better graphic designers who maybe they cost a little bit more, but that's okay because my product started to make more money, right? Or I found better copywriters, or I found I started investing instead of training programs. I started doing software. The reason I started doing software because there's higher perceived value in software, right? And you could charge more. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Where's local for me? Yeah, I'm in North Carolina. I'm in Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill area. If you've ever been, I've been here for 10 years, and I grew up in New York, in Buffalo, New York. any of you guys are from there. Let's see. Yes, having a senior developer on would be great. Yeah. So, for those of you that may have ideas for software, you need to hire a developer. We talk all about it, guys. I have a team of, I don't know, there's like 16 different developers, I believe, or I forgot what it is now, but we've learned a few things along the way. Believe me. And I can tell you right off the bat who's going to be a good developer and who's not. And now obviously it helps. We have some senior level guys that we can say, hey, we want you to look at their code, make sure the code is clean and blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. But just from a human to human standpoint, I can tell who's going to have good communication, who's going to get stuff done on time. I can tell very quickly. Okay. And when you can, we're all going to make mistakes, right? We all make mistakes, but when you can make a mistake and recover from it quickly, that's the good stuff right there, right? When you could hire someone and within a day you can say, you know what, I can tell this just isn't going to work, right? Instead of spending a month with someone spinning your wheels, right? I mean, that's just one example, but to me, making mistakes is a good thing. I don't enjoy making mistakes, but I turn it around as a positive because you can learn so much from them, right? And that's part of what having a mentor or a workshop or a coaching program like this is for. So you try not to make all of those mistakes. Now, you're going to make other mistakes, right? I mean, there's lots of different mistakes that people are going to make, but if you can recognize them early enough, it can save you a lot of time and money, right? Is this course suited for someone who doesn't have an active online business yet but want to start? Yes. I mean, it really, guys, these are foundational things, okay? These are things that you can learn from just starting out. As long as you have passion for a particular industry and you have desire and you have good work ethic, there's no reason why you can't be successful, okay? Everyone starts somewhere, right? It's the people that never take action are the ones that fail, right? So you can buy as many products as you want, you can take as many courses as you want, but if you don't end up doing anything, then it doesn't matter. So yes, it like I said earlier on, we go through the fundamentals. The fundamentals apply to everybody, okay? If you don't do the fundamentals, you're not going to be successful, okay? But we do go through advanced things as well for people that may be 2, 3 years, 5 years into building an online business. All right. Let's see. Now, someone was asking about how much the students make. Now, like I said before, everyone has different goals and everyone has different ways of what you consider success, right? We have certain people in the first workshop that were just looking for a way to supplement their income. They were looking for some unique ways to generate streams of income, right? Maybe it's $500 a month, $1,000 a month, whatever it may be, right? Then there's other people that want to go head first into this thing and they want to just scale it up and ramp it up as much as they can. So it's different. Everyone has different goals, right? But again, the foundation doesn't change, okay? The things that are taught in this workshop are not going to change, okay? Now, if you want to ramp things up, we talk about those things. We talk about how to reinvest and start to scale up your business. But again, the things that we teach you, the foundational stuff, is not going to change, okay? Can you also suggest some good software developers who are not in-house in your business? I give you guys inside of Seller Kickstart. I give you guys my Rolodex. I also will show you guys how to go on places like Upwork, freelance.com, how to talk with other people in your industry to find good, talented people to work for you. Okay. What if I'm passionate about marketing programs? Is this niche too crowded? Absolutely not. The more crowded a niche is, the better. Okay. The more people in a space, the better. The more products that there are in a space or in your niche, the better. Okay. That means that there's money to be made there. That means that there's buyers. That means that there's demand. Okay. I never create a product, and this is something I teach you guys in the workshop. I never create a product that hasn't been done before. Okay. The reason is because you asked the question, Well, why hasn't it been done? Okay, it's going to be next to impossible to create something that is 100% completely unique, that's never been done before. Okay, and make it a successful business. Okay, there's a reason why. You may have a great idea, right? You may have this great idea that you think is excellent, but that great idea only goes as far as if it's validated by the people purchasing, right, or the people in the marketplace. Okay. Would I be able to utilize the products I already invested in prior to the workshop? Sure. I mean, if there's guys, I mean, I'm not tool agnostic. I mean, if there's a certain tool, app, system that you use and that's working for you, by all means, you should use it, right? What works for me may not work for you, right? In terms of a specific tool or a specific technique. So everyone is different, right? Everybody is running different businesses. Again, the foundational stuff can apply to everybody. But once you get to more advanced strategies, there's certain things in every business, there's certain nuances that apply to specific businesses, right? And certain tools that lend themselves to or cater to other businesses more than others, right? They have ice biking in Buffalo now. A handmade bicycle designed for the ice. Wow, nothing surprises me. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, it snows there like 6 months a year. Okay, guys. So let me go ahead, and I got a few more slides here, and then we'll go ahead and wrap things up. Now, I see some of you guys asking if there is a payment plan. We do have a 3x or 3-time payment plan. Basically, it breaks it out into 3 payments for you. So 3 payments of $397 a piece. Okay. You can go to sellerkickstart.com/3x. So it'll every 30 days it will bill you $397. Okay. So if you guys want to break it up into 3 payments, you can do that as well. Okay. So sellerkickstart.com/3x. I believe that is in the chat panel as well. So, like I said, guys, you're going to go to either /join if you're going to save a little bit of money if you go to /join and just do 1 payment, or the /3x will be the 3-time payment plan. So it's up to you. So for some of you guys that may be a little strapped for money right now, you can break it up into basically 90 days, if you will. Okay. And like I said, guys, I see some of you guys already contributing, saying you're already inside the members area. Awesome. Make sure that you follow those instructions. Connect me on Skype. Get added into the private Facebook group. And then feel free to reach out to our support team as well. Now, before I go into the bonus, for those of you who stayed till the end, we are going to be doing a bonus for one of you. We're going to do it's going to be kind of a fun little quiz, if you will. Okay. Before I do that, I want to know, is there anything that is holding you back? What is holding you back from not taking action today and being part of this workshop? If you wouldn't mind, go ahead and put it in the chat box below. I'd love to know, because like I said, I mean, to me, this is a complete no-brainer. I mean, and I understand. I mean, just from doing the first workshop that we had tons of other people that we couldn't let into the program just because we wanted to keep it a close group. But is it? Just let me know if there's anything. Okay. Can you repeat and show the dates again? Yeah, I can do that. Here's that slide that breaks down the 12. Those are the 12 live sessions. And obviously, you can watch the pre-recorded training at any time. Let's see. I don't have a passion for a particular niche. Yeah, I mean, guys, I don't want to take your money. We're not greedy money suckers here. If you, like I said, it's not for everybody. I'll admit. I mean, this workshop is for people who you can still be newbie. Okay, you can be brand new and still make this workshop successful, right? As long as you have passion and as long as you have a drive and you have a desire for a particular niche, you have some experience in something, right? Because if you don't, here's what I found, guys. For those of you who say, I'll make it work, right? I don't have a passion, but I'll figure it out as I go along, right? What happens is those people end up kind of flaming out, right? you're excited in the beginning because you could see the potential. There's potential to make a lot of money, right? I mean, and I'm living proof of it. You know, but if you're not passionate about it, you're not going to want to be doing it every day, right? Like, so you heard from Keith, who is one of my students who is now on his own, right? The reason he's been successful is because he wakes up and he starts working, but it's not work to him, right? So it's fun for him, and that's how I am. You talk to any entrepreneur who is successful, right? They love what they do. They love I mean, for the most part, 99% of people love what they do, and that's why they're successful, right? Um, let's see. Okay. Yeah, so someone said fear of not succeeding, right? You can't have that mindset, okay? If you have the fear of not succeeding, you're going to fail already, okay? So some of that is just a change of mindset, which we do cover. We talk about this type of stuff in week 1. We'll talk about the mindset. Now, I could definitely recommend some other maybe books or training or free resources out there to help you get out of that mindset, right? You need to have a positive mindset. You need to surround yourself around successful people. Okay. That's part of the challenge of entrepreneurs is putting yourself in a position to succeed. Okay. So many people are so negative and don't feel like they have what it takes. And if you're in that mindset already, okay, you're going to fail. So it's important to get out of that mindset, and you can get out of it. Okay. Yeah. And guys, Janice says, truthfully tired of broken promises. So, guys, that's why we give you the guarantee. Okay, I'm obviously that's a risk on my part. I'm investing my time. I've put a lot into the course, not let alone the training, the pre-recorded training. I'm giving up. There's 12 sessions. We're going to be doing 2 hours or more at a time. That's a full 24-hour day of my time where I'm helping you guys, and then obviously I'm going to be connecting with you guys on Skype, and I also help in the Facebook group and in our support desk. So that's a significant risk on my part, right? You could go through the entire thing, and if you just wanted to be, getting it for free, I mean, you can do that. Now, hopefully, I try not to attract those types of people. Hopefully I've made that clear, but I understand there's always a lot of broken promises that you hear from people, but I ask you to take this leap of faith. We've had plenty of successful testimonials and case studies from people that have gone through this workshop. This is only the second time that we've done it. I've invested into it, and you're also backed by the guarantee if you feel that you're not getting your money's worth, right? Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's a really good point. David says you can only achieve your the personal image of yourself. Believing is important, and anger causes a block for receiving abundance, forgive, and focus. Yeah. I mean, that's 100% on point, guys. I mean, you need to believe in yourself, right? And that's why I say you guys need to reinvest into yourself. That's going to be the biggest return on investment that you can have, right? I mean, stocks, bonds, all that stuff is good. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do it, but if you're not investing into knowledge and mentors and furthering your business, then you're doing yourself a disservice. How much time does it take to develop a product? Guys, I'm going to show you all sorts of different ways. I mean, a product can take a day to create. It can take a year to create. I mean, we have products that we've been developing for over 2 years. Now, I'm not saying you're going to be doing that overnight, or you're not going to do that as your first product, right? Because again, we need to balance risk versus reward, short-term versus long-term revenue for your business, right? Now, when I started, I mean, I spent some time. If you're not willing to put in the time, guys, then this workshop isn't for you. But you can create a product in a short amount of time, right? You can still offer great value in a training course that maybe took you a few days or a week or a few weeks to develop, right? So some of it is obviously you got to have a good product, and the other side is good marketing, I mean, there's a few pieces to juggle here, but ultimately, what you get out of the product is what you're hopefully, the more time you invest into something like a piece of software, like when we create a piece of software, it takes us a year to develop. We're hoping to get a large payout on it, right? I mean, just like anything, right? The more time and effort you put into something, the more you hope to get out of it, right? So it's not to say that you can't start small, right? Start with a mini training program that's $17, right? Maybe it took you a week to do, okay? It's a great way to start, right? And scale up and move up from there, okay? All right, guys, I'm going to give the question here. Okay, so I want you guys to get ready in the questions box. I'm going to be giving away $300 worth of my products to one lucky person. I appreciate all of you guys for staying on, and so I thought this would be kind of fun to do. So this is bonus time. And I appreciate everyone who stayed. So be the first person to answer this question correctly, and you'll get to grab one free digital Kickstart product. You can go to digitalkickstart.com/products, and you can choose a product up to $300. So it's completely up to you which product you want, but you can choose any product under $300. So here's the question. So, how many mistakes did Thomas Edison make before he invented the light bulb? So, go ahead and put that in the chat box, and the first person to answer that correctly, we will grab your email address, and we will. Holy cow! Okay, lots of them. Oh my god. Okay. Yes. Okay. So the correct answer. There's a lot of you guys. Okay. Well, it's good to see that a lot of you guys are still paying attention. The answer was 950 and Rob. So Rob, I don't know what your last name is, but you were the first person to answer that. Rob, if you can put your email address in, we'll go ahead. We'll get our support team to contact you, and you can choose any product up to $300, and we'll get you a free account. So we're going to be doing. Okay, thank you, Rob. I got your email address, so we'll make a note of that. If we can just copy that down, so we can follow up with Rob. So I appreciate that, guys. We're so really quick, guys. We are doing 2 more workshops, so hopefully you guys like this. Good content. Hopefully you guys just a quick yes, any no's. If for any reason you didn't like the content that we had, please let me know, and I'll try my best to improve on it. But we have 2 more workshops. One on January 21st, which is going to be on Thursday. That one's going to be at 8 o'clock. We're going to be talking about email marketing, product creation, and product marketing. And then on January 26th at 2 o'clock, okay, that's going to be about scaling and growing. Now, since you're already signed up, you won't need to sign up again. You're going to use the same GoToWebinar link that we used for the first one. So it signs you up for all of them, okay? Okay. All right, cool. So I hope that you guys got a lot out of this. I want to congratulate all of you who have joined the Seller Kickstart program. Again, just really quick, sellerkickstart.com/join for the one-time payment, sellerkickstart.com/3x for that 3 payment plan if you want to. So congratulations. Go ahead. You can start going through the content. We're going to start the live workshops on February 2nd. Like I said, there's a calendar inside of the program, so you can go and see everything. We recommend just subscribing to the calendar so you can get everything onto your calendar, so you have reminders, and of course you'll have the replays as well. So thank you guys. Rob, we'll get a hold of you to get your free product, and I appreciate everybody who came on. Gwen, you're very welcome. Look forward to Thursday as well. Should be a lot of fun. So everybody have a good day, and I look forward to seeing you guys. Hopefully all of you guys attend Thursday's workshop. So hope everyone enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you guys very soon.